What was the atmosphere like here at Hamline United Methodist Church in 1999 when we made the decision? I would say that because this had been a long and extended process and conversation, that I think there were a lot of people who were just a sense of, let's finally take a vote on this.
There was a sense of real urgency. People had worked on making a decision, studying, reflecting, talking, thinking, praying, speaking, for at least 6 or 7 years. And so there was a sense when I came in 1997 that they didn't want to be finished with it, but they would get brought to a conclusion.
The atmosphere was not ready for a vote leading up to 1999. I mean, obviously we got ready, but in the lead up to this, the congregation was not ready for a vote. And we had a task force that I think was tasked with getting us ready for a vote. And they did, I think, a wonderful job, because I needed more information about the situation for folks, what it meant to become a reconciling church.
So, reconciling, why a reconciling congregation? After we had adopted our daughter and had custody of our grandson, we were looking to return to church. A lot of that we thought would be for him, to ensure he was getting a proper Christian education, but really I found out that it was more for who I am.
Well, because I myself am queer, so it was important to me to go to a church where I know that people are going to accept me as I am and not try and reduce me down or just not like me because of something that I can't change.
When I started attending Hamline Church, I knew it was a reconciling church, and that was a plus, but I didn't really think much about it. It just seemed good, and it just seemed good, but I didn't pay it too much attention. But then it became very important to me when my oldest child came out as queer.
I think it was important to me personally just because I felt like a sense of welcome is a core part of what church is.
Part of why I started coming here to Hamline Church was because of the clear stance on inclusion and really being committed to that and being a space to create belonging for all people.
We were, the three of us, Al and Brian and I, were driving to Duluth. We all agree on this. And he was in the back seat, and he said, I have something to tell you. And then he said, I'm gay. And I guess had we been alert parents, we would have known this. But my first thought was safety, that he would not be as safe as a regular ungay person. And my second thought was, thank you to Hamline Church for the task force, for knowing what it meant, for being able to understand where he was coming from, and to be supportive as totally as we could in his life.
It's impacted my understanding of God in that the broader sense of inclusion has been a part of my spiritual life.
I think it really was helpful to me in terms of just part of how am I taking my faith and putting it into action.
I didn't do anything to make my child queer. And she is still the same wonderful person that she was before I knew she was queer.
Yes.
And if you are not welcoming and you are not reconciling, then you don't know who you're turning away.
I would say I've had an understanding of who God is in my life, my entire life. And now that the entire denomination of the Methodist Church is embracing complete inclusivity. I don't know if that has changed my view of God. If anything, it is the view of humanity and the ability for people to change.
Becoming a reconciling person really changed my life, and I became a more outgoing and, I think, bold and accepting person.
I would say that it's important to remember that this is a journey, and we are all moving on towards perfection. We have not yet reached it.